Okay. Honorable Deputy Secretary for Technology Research Policy, Dr. Yudo Baskoro. Honorable Director of Innovation Technology Research Policy Evaluation, Dr. Dudi Kandar. Honorable Director Policy Formulation for Research, Technology and Innovation, Deputy Research and Innovation Policy BRIN, Dr. Dudi Hidayat. Honorable Principal Researcher Division of Global Innovation Strategy Research, STEPI, Dr. Enjo Kim. Honorable Director of Measurement and Indicator of Innovation Technology Research, Dr. Hairul Rizal. Honorable Director Laboratory Management Research Facilities and Science and Technology Park, Deputy for Research and Innovation Infrastructure, BRIN, Dr. Cahyo Pranoto. Honorable Director Research and Innovation Funding, Deputy for Facilitation of Research and Innovation BRIN, Dr. Ajeng Arumsari. Honorable Lead Manager Research Infrastructure, Policy Team, National Research Facilities and Equipment Center, Korea Basic Science Institute, Dr. Young Jo Kim. Honorable Chief Director Office of Future Technology Strategy, Korea Institute of Science and Technology Evaluation and Planning, Dr. Jiho Huang. Honorable Senior Research Fellow Office of Sustainable Innovation of Policy Research Division of Global Innovation Strategy Research, STEPI, Dr. Du Son Yim. And Honorable all participants STEPI-BRIN Kick-Off Seminar. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. Good morning, everybody. I'm Berlian Irawan, will guide this event, and welcome to STEPI Kick-Off Seminar with topic the 2023 Key Innovation Partnership Program, today, March 16, 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first opening remark, we will deliver by Principal Researcher Division of Global Innovation Strategy Research, STEPI, and please welcome Dr. Enjo Kim.
Okay, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
My name is Enjo Kim, and it's a really big honor for me to be here this morning. Thank you for this beautiful set on the stage. Every time I visit Jakarta, and it's a really beautiful city, and I love people because you always have a big smile on your face. So give me very good energy. So thank you. And okay, let me start. Deputy Dr. Dudi Hidayat and other BRIN directors, researchers, and colleagues and friends, I'm very pleased to open this kick-off seminar on the 2023 K Innovation Partnership Program with Indonesia. This is the beginning of the first year of STEPI's program, which is quite long. Policy consultation on design and implementation of BRIN's research infrastructure and funding policies in strengthening Indonesian innovation system. Since 2014, STEPI, as a Korea's national think tank and global partner on STI for SDGs, has been sharing hands-on experiences and know-hows with 16 developing countries through 32 K innovation programs. STEPI has worked with Indonesia as the first country for the STI capacity development of policymakers and researchers and other STI stakeholders. Here we have Dr. Doksun Im, who took charge of the first project with the agency for the assessment and the application of technology, the former BPPT, in 1991. So still he is with us. Wonderful, right? Okay, I can say that STEPI enjoyed a firm and a robust partnership with the former LIPI and PPPT before their integration into BRIN in 2021. And now we continue our partnership with BRIN, and we'll do our best to support BRIN in developing R&D policies and strategies. Recalling our consolidated partnership with Indonesia on STI, I'm very pleased to note that for the last 3 years, STEPI successfully executed a institutional framework, policy consultation on STI governance, including coordination mechanism, institutional framework, and financial system in Indonesia by sharing Korean policy experiences. Now, we are here today to witness the launch of the first year under the same program, with the objective of providing policy support and capacity development for BRIN policymakers and researchers on R&D infrastructure policy and management. It is my sincere hope that this program will lay a solid foundation for substantial collaboration of both countries, STI players, in the public and private sectors in the coming years. Allow me to conclude by extending my appreciation to Korean experts. One expert is here, Dr. Yongju Kim from NFEC, which is National Research Facilitation and Equipment Center, and Dr. Ji-ho Hwang of KISTEP, which is Korea Institute of Science, Technology, Evaluation and Planning. He is joining us online. And BRIN colleagues for joining us at the Kick-Off Seminar off and online. And to our corresponding team, actually just we call it a task force team at BRIN, with the leadership of Dr. Dudi and Yuka and Justina and other members for providing all necessary support to organize this event. So thank you very much. Terima kasih. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Eunjo Kim. Next opening remark. Please welcome Director Policy Formulation for Research, Technology and Innovation, Deputy for Research and Innovation Policy, BRIN, Dr. Dudi Hidayat.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everybody. The Honorable Dr. Lev Song-Yu, Senior Research Fellow, Office of Sustainable Innovation and Policy Research, Division of Global Innovation Strategy Research, STEPI. Dr. Eunjo Kim, Principal Researchers Division of Global Innovation Strategy Research, STEPI. Both of them are an old friend of mine. Dr. Eunjo Kim, Lead Manager, Research Infrastructure Policy Team, National Research Facilities, the Equipment Sector of Korea Basic Science Institute, KBSI. And Dr. Ji-ho Hwang, who will join us to the Zoom platform, Chief Director, Office of Future Technology Strategy, Korea Institute of Science, Technology, Evaluation Planning, KISTEP. And the Honorable Dr. Chakya Pramoto, Director of Laboratory Management Research Facilities, Science Technology Park, Deputy for Research and Innovation Infrastructure, BRIN, who will be joining us through the Zoom platform. He is currently in Japan, visiting his culture. Dr. Rajan Harusari, Director of Research and Innovation Funding, and Deputy for Facilitation of Research and Innovation, BRIN, who already joined us here in person. Dr. Dudi Iskandar, the name is the same as mine, Dudi Iskandar. So please, if we are together, please call me DH and the R. is the Director of Policy Evaluation for Science, Technology, and Innovation, Mr. Yudo Baskoro, Deputy Secretary of Research and Innovation Policy, National Research and Innovation Agency, and Dr. Khairul Rizal, which is at the moment he's still in another meeting. But soon he will also joining us here. He's the Director of Research, Technology and Innovation Measurement and Indicators of BRIN. Of course, also another directors and one of the research centers head, Dr. Yanti. Thank you for coming here, Yanti. Bu Ramatur, sorry here. Okay, thank you. And of course, distinguished colleagues from CIPG, from Semeru, and another organization. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a great pleasure for me to extend a warm welcome to each and every of you on behalf of the National Research and Innovation Agency, BRIN. So today we mark the commencement of the seminar on the 2023 Key Innovation Partnership Program in Asia, in collaboration with our long-standing partner, the Science and Technology Policy Institute from South Korea. The significance of this event cannot be overstated. This partnership between BRIN and STEPI, focusing on the policy consultation on design and implementation of research and innovation support policy for improvement of science, technology, and innovation system in Indonesia. And it is expected to last for the last 3 years since this year. But we have been working closely with STEPI since 2014, collaborating with the other organizations such as LIPI and BPPT at the time previously. And our joint effort have so far yielded exceptional results. At a crucial juncture in Indonesian STI transformation, I am thrilled to reinforce this valuable partnership, and together we aim to deliver tangible policy recommendations and a roadmap for STI governance in Indonesia. We are quite confident that our work will lead to an enhanced STI performance, economic growth, and competitiveness of our country. It is important to note that the government of Indonesia recognizes the significance of a robust national innovation system that can compete globally. The government had initiated to integrate all national public R&D institutions, including LIPI, BPPT, Batan, Lapan, and public R&D units at ministries into one single organization, which is called BRIN, National Research and Innovation Agency. This integration is aimed at improving national research and innovation governance in Indonesia and promoting science and technology competitiveness in the future. So therefore, national STI policies in Indonesia will be delivered through BRIN. And it is an important moment. BRIN is at the early stage of development. We have still a lot to be done. And we have also to think through about many things, including R&D infrastructures, which become our topic of collaboration this year. So meanwhile, STEPI Korea has played a vital role in the successful development of the Korean science, technology, and innovation ecosystem. And since 2014, STEPI have been providing STI education policy consultation to many countries, including Indonesian and Indonesian government officials and also researchers. Now, as per the Indonesian government request, STEPI carried out a policy advisory project on STI governance, including the institutional framework and financial system, coordination mechanism, and investment in Indonesia during 2020 and 2022. Indonesia's national innovation system still requires an effective STI policies and strategies, and we anticipate learning from Korean experiences. And through policy consultation, including Indonesian and Korean STI policymakers and academics, our collaboration in 2023 will aim to provide a practical STI policy transfer from Korea to Indonesia, in particular in the area of R&D infrastructures management and also research and innovation facilitation scheme. Ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude for the fruitful bilateral cooperation and collaboration that we have enjoyed so far with STEPI. I am confident that our future cooperation will significantly contribute to the development of Indonesia's national innovation system. I wish everyone a success in this partnership and officially declare the kick-off meeting open. So let us engage in productive and fruitful discussion today. So thank you for your attention.
Give the floor in the kick-off seminar. We will start off.
So thank you. With those short video, we mark the opening. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, now we would like to invite to we would like to invite to Dr. Yudo to give souvenirs to Dr. Kim, equipment, Dr. Dudi Hidayat, and please take the position. Look at the camera, Mr. and Mrs. Wait in here. Give the plus again. Okay. I'm sorry, Mister. Give the souvenir. Have the new souvenir. Give the souvenir from Dr. Dudi Hidayat for Dr. Anjoki. Next, and to all from the STEPI Korea. Next. To continue next photo session, please, Dr. Yudo Baskoro. Okay. Next photo session, we would like to invite to Dr. Yudo Baskoro, Dr. Anjo Kim, Dr. Youngjo Kim to take the picture. Okay. Continue with Please welcome Bu Yanti, Miss Yanti and Miss Ajeng. I'm sorry. Give the smile for the picture. Okay. Give the smile. Okay. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Enough. Oh, once more pose. Once more. Take. Okay. 1, 2. Okay. Enough. Thank you. Okay. All participants to take the picture with the please, ladies and gentlemen, for the all participants to take the picture in there with the Dr. An Jong Kim. Yes. Okay, please. We'll start the kick-off seminar, the 2020 Key Innovation Partnership Program. Please, okay. The boys in at the front, and if you are younger, and give the smile. Please open mask, please. Look the smiling. Okay. Sarang Hill. In Indonesia is cuan. Yeah. Okay, enough. Oh, smile now. Oh, smile now. Okay. Oh, the additional BRIN way. Okay, thank you for all participants and the speaker. Please be seated. Okay, we continue the event. So, ladies and gentlemen, Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now the next session is presentation paper of current status of Indonesia R&D infrastructure management system from Director, Laboratory Management, Research Facilities, and Science and Technology Park, Deputy for Research, Innovation Infrastructure BRIN. Please welcome Dr. Cahyo Pranoto. Time is all yours.
Thank you, Mr. Berlian, and thank you. Good morning, everybody. It is my honor here to present in the event of the 2023 K Innovation Partnership Program between STEPI and BRIN. So hopefully, is it my voice clear? My voice is clear, or please respond.
Yes, clear.
Okay, thank you very much. Distinguished participants, distinguished speaker, Dr. Jo Kim, the principal from STEPI, Dr. Rudi Hidayat, the director from BRIN, Dr. Ajeng Arumsari, Dr. Young Jo Kim also. Thank you very much for your presence there in Jakarta. I'm really sorry. Now, at this moment, I'm in Japan for a business travel, and hopefully my presentation will also complete the program today. And there in the event, I have I'm represented by two of my colleagues, Dr. Farida and Dr. Nurbaiti. Hopefully, they can represent me because after 2 hours, I have to attend another meeting here in Tokyo. It's my honor to bring my presentation today. Please allow me to share my presentation. Is it okay?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. My presentation today entitled "The Current Status of Indonesia Regarding the R&D Infrastructure Management." First, I want to introduce myself. I'm Cahyo Pranoto. Presently, I'm the acting chairman, director of Laboratory Management, Research Facilities, and Science and Technology Park in the National Research and Innovation Agency. My outline will look like this. The first, I will briefly introduce about our new established institution, BRIN, and some information about how many researchers, research facilities we have, and the policy and strategy that has been designed by our chairman. And after that, I will more deeply about how to manage our research infrastructure facilities, and especially I will introduce you that we called that we used a web-based platform to manage our facilities. It's called ELSA, Electronic Science Service. First, as Dr. Dudi mentions, that BRIN now in the second year of its establishing by presidential decree, we have by integrating research institutions and also governmental research institutions from the whole country. we are now have around 10,000 researchers. Okay, and this huge number of researchers come out from around 5 ministry research institutions and 48 governmental research organizations across the countries. So the organizations look like this. We have under the presidents, our chairmen, and there are 7 deputies, and we have also around 12 research organizations in which under these research organizations, we have around 85 research centers. So you can imagine that such a big organization structure certainly has also a big number of researchers and facilities. Let me introduce you the first, the Science and Technology Park facilities. This is the first one, located in Cibinong, around 1 hour from Jakarta. This Science Technology Park is focused on the life science technology. So there you can find the chemical characterization laboratory, bioreactor laboratory, and molecular characterizations, cell and stem cell laboratorium, and also the last we have purchased the cryo-EM laboratory. I think this facility is the best, the last technology, and this is I think in Asia we are the first that we established this facility. And also protein characterization, sequencing laboratory. Now we came to the second Science and Technology Park in Serpong, which is focused on the engineering, and this also around 1 hour from Jakarta. And thank you very much. I heard that the STEPI groups, the STEPI team, has visited this area on 2 days ago, I heard. There we have combustion engines and propulsion, fuel technology laboratory, strength and structure technology, irradiations, and aerodynamics, and so on. Well, besides this Science Technology Park, we have also a marine biodiversity laboratory, and we have in the whole country around 7 marine station, and we have also 5 research ships, and hopefully after 2 years we will get another 2 new research ships. And there we have also botanical gardens for biodiversity, and this is also distributed in the whole country, in Surabaya, in Bali, in Sumatra, and also in Lombok Island. Another research infrastructure regarding aerospace and satellite and climate change. There we have a satellite laboratory, microsatellites development and operation satellites, and Then also we have recently we are constructing the the spaceport. It is located in Biak Island, the most east part of Indonesia. And also we have the field stations, around 25 in number, for climate change research. Also, this is in the whole country we have. Then for such a huge number of facilities, this is certainly this is our challenge, how to manage this, and which kind policies should be taken to optimize the whole resources we have. So there are 3 directions and 7 targets decided by our chairman. So in this occasion, I will explain, I will talk, I will go deeply only for the first directions, because it is related to the research infrastructure. These directions, it is integrating research and innovations resources, human resources, infrastructure resources, and also budget resources. So these directions, the integrating of these resources has a target of to integrating major government research institutions until January 2022. And also transforming business process and research management to increase the critical mass of research and innovations resources regarding to the human infrastructure and budget resources. Distinguished participants, let me move to the next slide. This is our targets, our how to improve our research implementation outcomes in the future plan that we have proposed. Our chairman has proposed that the ultimate solution for low critical mass is creating the collaboration hub and enabler for stakeholder, multi-local and global stakeholder, in particular local industry to enter research and development based products development. So here in the center of this slide, you see here the open platform. This is the main strategy of our institutions regarding human research, infrastructure, and network. We we choose our human research and our human resources infrastructures to become open, local, and globally. So it means that our programs regarding the human resource that we facilitate to improve the capacity building of our human research. Yes, and also our facilities should be optimized in the utility by make it open for the whole stakeholder. Next, I will talk about how to manage the whole resources, as well the research infrastructure. As the researchers that I told you before, there are 10,000 researchers with a huge number of research facilities. First, I want to describe our situation before. It means before integration, that in our country, in Indonesia, the research, the government research institutions is separate one with another. So there have you institution research 1, 2, 3, and so on. Sorry, I didn't correct this number. So please imagine that there is institution 1, institution 2, institution 3, and so on. And among these institutions, among these research institutions, separated by their own wall, their own border, their own program. So the researchers of each research institutions, they know only their own facilities. They do not know the facilities from other research and research institutions. They do not know the budget or the program or research program from another research institutions, because there is some. It is like a wall between them. Now, these situations has some disadvantage. First, the bad procurement planning, because every research institutions has their own program, their own planning for procurement of the facilities. Then the result is that there occurs duplications, because there is no coordination between the institutions. The second one, that there occurs the inefficient maintenance on the facilities. The facilities there that they have purchased, they maintained with their own policy. Sometimes under unstandardized service they get. So this maintenance, it is not efficient regarding the budget also, because for the same products, for the same facilities, there you have different budget needed. Then the third situations before, you have limitation on to assess the facilities. Why? No, because as I told you before in the previous slides, that there is such a wall between the research institutions, so that the information between agencies, even between researchers in the same agencies, is not so clear or close information. You do not know which facilities your institutions have. And also the facilities in each research institutions are dominated by a research group only. This created unsanctioned ownership by the said researchers. So the result is that other researchers, even with similar competencies, they are not aware of the existence of equipment pertinent to their research. Yeah. And also, even some of the researchers are aware about the existence of the facilities, but they are unable to utilize them due to unstandardized rules and regulations. Gaining access is problematic for these researchers. Now the fourth one, that's the low usage, the low utilities of the facilities is also occurs, yeah. Because this is the result of the point 3. Since the researchers with similar competencies are not aware or unable to gain access to the equipment. The next one, in the situations before, there is a weak monitoring on the facilities. So how many hours has the equipment used, then you are not know, because the equipment hours are not monitored. So a sudden breakdown might happen anytime. So it is quite hard to implement preventive maintenance. And then the last one, the situations before that, there is no data on supply and demands between the researchers and the facilities. Okay. So the result is that control to achieve optimized equipment use becomes improbable. So this is describing. I describe again such situations before, and the future situation that we wish that we have set as our goal, in which our facilities has database procurement planning. So where the procurement based on the data of the whole institutions that we have integrated in BRIN, and also how to make an efficient maintenance, easy accessibility, and high occupancy for the facilities, and a better monitoring and also efficient infrastructure management. This is the challenge, and for this, we have here some illustrations. When the wall between the institutions is removed one by one, then the information of the whole institutions will be clear, opened, and everyone, every researchers now able to review the facilities we have. So then we came to know that we have such huge facilities, and this is by removing the wall. we call it an open platform. Okay. Then,
I'm sorry, doctor. Time is enough.
okay.
Your time is enough. I'm sorry.
Berapa menit lagi, Pak? Sudah, Pak?
Give. Okay. Your time is 5 minutes again.
Boleh 5 menit lagi, Pak?
Yes.
Okay. Really sorry for the time. Give me more 5 minutes because this is the main important things that we have a platform to manage this. It's called an ELSA, Electronic Science Service. Please write down this website address. There you can find how this platform works to manage our facilities. It is a one-stop station web-based system where you can track your service by online. This is for example, when you need analysis for thermal analysis, then you go there to the website. Then you will find which specifications the facility is, how much the service is cost, and how long you are in the queue, and how to assess. There you can get all this information in the website. So even you are in the abroad, in every places in the country, you can access the facilities. Just you send the specimen to the laboratory, and you will get your result there executed by the operator of the facilities. So this is the roadmap for a better research infrastructure management. There we have a before situation. After first year experience, we applied the ELSA, the Electronic Service Science. Then we have a first year experience. Then we have also challenge for that to transform our infrastructure management to become better in the future. Thank you very much. Kamsahamnida. Please. Ya, silakan.
Thank you, Dr. Cahyo Pranoto. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now presentation paper of current status of Indonesia R&D funding management system. From Director Research and Innovation Funding, Deputy for Facilitation of Research and Innovation BRIN, Dr. Ajeng Arumsari. It's your time, please.
Thank you, Honorable Dr. Enju Kim, Principal Researcher from STEPI, and then Dr. Dudi Hidayat, Pak Yudo, Pak Dudi Iskandar, and ladies and gentlemen, good morning.
I'm sorry, please take your mic. Your voice is not here in there. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. It's great for us to be here to present about the current status of research and innovation funding. I'm here with my coordinator, Gus Sasti, for the coordinator for the joint fund scheme, and also the Ms. Raida. And yeah, I will present about the current status of Indonesia research R&D funding management system. Next. Yeah, Pak Cahyo already explained about this, about the BRIN's introduction, so I will skip it. Next. Yeah, our directorate is under the Deputy Research and Innovation Facilitation. And next. And as if we know that BRIN has the three job and function. The first is the supporting evidence or science-based development policies. It's like a deputy in here, deputy research and innovation policy, and also the for the deputy for the development policy, development policy, and also deputy for the deputy leader. And the second one, the BRIN has functioned as the executing agency. So the research organization and also the research center has to conduct the research and innovation activities. And the last, BRIN's job and function is as the funding agency. So in here, we have to the strengthening the national research and innovation ecosystem. And our deputy is the under in this And BRIN also has a role for the national talent management in research and innovation. So in here is the scheme for the researcher mobility. Actually, it's not in our directorate, but in the directorate talent management. But maybe I will explain a little. They have many scheme to accelerate the talent management. So for example, and also the matching fund scheme. How we can share We have the several scheme for the research funding. First is the research and innovation for the Onward Indonesia. We have the collaboration with the Indonesia Endowment for Education, or we call it LPDP, from the Ministry of Finance. And also we have the scheme such as the expedition and exploration funding. So this is the scheme for to get the specimen from the field, such as the specimen from the microbes or the plant or animals. But in this year, we hope that this expedition and exploration is not only for the biodiversity, but also for the social. It can also join in this fund. And we also have the sailing day facilitation to use our ship. And we also have the health innovation product testing and agriculture innovation product testing. So in here, this scheme, we hope that such as the vaccine, medical devices, and also the phytopharmaca, etc., can be commercialized by the industry. So the research result that all proven through journal and intellectual right property can be enhanced and also have collaboration with the industry. And we also have scheme for the research startup funding. So we hope that the startup can be the sustainable and profitable. And the last, we also have the facilitation for the collaboration research center. And now we also initiate the collaboration with the several funding agency in overseas. So we hope that we can make a match fund scheme here. Next. Yeah, this is the joint fund scheme that we hope that we can support global engagement and collaboration, so we can speed up knowledge and skill transfer through the research collaboration. Next. So until now, we already make initiation for the joint fund scheme with the IDRC Canada, BMGF, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and then the AFG from German, KfW. Of course, we also hope that we can make collaboration also with the funding agency from the Korea in the future. This is the we will make the collaboration with the funding agency from the overseas to make like the to get output, and then the how to share the facilities, and then we will of the selection and then announcement of the awardees, and we will share the financial support. And in here, the principle is no cost for the money. So the money agency from the Korea will invite a from the
to Korea to conduct the research in Korea. And also, of course, we can use the facility that
Elsa. And also we can use the researcher mobility from the Directorate of the Talent Management. Not all, but maybe that relate with the policy. First is research and innovation for the onward Indonesia. We call it RIM. The RIM funding focus on the research and innovation in the fields of the food, health, and energy for the national priority, but it also can be open to the other research fields such as the nuclear, aviation, space, electronic, and also, of course, the policy and governance. And the principal investigator are researchers from the research in institutes, university, community organization can also apply in this scheme. And the principal investigator must be doctoral degree. And of course, this team has to track record in accordance with the proposal activities. Next. This is the funding recipient on this scheme in the policy team. I will give the example. So we already have the 3 batch 1, batch 2, and batch 3. And the proposal with the policy team is 9 proposal that approved. For the funding total from the batch 1 and the batch 2 is around 2 billion rupiahs, and the batch 3 is still ongoing for the establishing fund. And sebelumnya. Okay, and for the RIM batch 1 is the 4 titles, and then in the RIM batch 2 is the 1 title, and the RIM batch 3 is the 4 title. And but actually there is the 7 proposals came from the external of BRIN, so only 2 proposals came from the researcher in BRIN. Next. And this is the title of the funding recipients in the policy team. Sorry, it is in Indonesian language, but I try to translate. For the number 1 is about the policy strategy for the disaster risk management, and then for the number 2 it's about the rice industry value chain, and number 3 about the gender-based equality and social inclusion for the, how can I say, the migrant fisherman village. And the number 4 is about the stunting decline modeling policy analysis. And then next. Number 5 about the sustainable tourism governance model. And then next is about the sustainable local governance to support the cassava. It's like in the functional food. And then the next one is about the innovation of collaboration governance in the coastal area, relate with the digital transformation. And then next is about the fisheries policy strategy. And the last one is about the political monograph and public perception, especially for the money politics. Next. This is another scheme that we have, facilitation for the research collaboration center, or we call it PKR. PKR is a research center expected to become a center for the collaboration, conducting international standard research, and they expected to have the very high standard result. This is the specific field for the research collaboration center, and it has to be different with the 85-hour research center. Thanks. The goals of this scheme is to improve the adaptability of the research institution, and then to improve the critical mass both in the BRIN and also in the university. So this is the research collaboration center is collaboration between the university and research center in BRIN. So the researcher from university can utilize all the facilitation and funding scheme provided by BRIN. So we hope that this research collaboration center can make I can say to enhance the target high standard result. Next. And we have the two types of the research collaboration center. The first type is about the science and technology between the research center and the university. And then the second type is the industrial research collaboration center. It's like the type 1 plus industry. Next. And this is the output that they should get in the 1 year. More than 5 scientific publication in the journal, international journal, and also the more than 2 the other international publications such as book, and then product like prototype, and then the intellectual property right, and also the I can say the outcome. They should have the number of license, and then the collaboration agreement with the national or international research agreement, and then have the business cooperation agreement. Next. And this is the contribution of the each party. BRIN will provide the funding for buying the chemicals, and also for the travel expenses, and also the ELSA point that they can utilize all infrastructure in BRIN. And also we hope that the university will allocate the researcher from lecturer and also the doctoral degree student. And then industry, of course, not only provide the problem, but also can provide the facility to implement the research result. Next. So that's all. Thank you for your kind attention. We can continue in the discussion.
Okay, give the applause to Dr. Ajeng Arumsari. Thank you very much for your presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, the next presentation paper of South Korea R&D Infrastructure Management System by Dr. Yong-Jo Kim as a leader, manager, research infrastructure, policy team, National Research Facility and Equipment Center, Korea Basic Science Institute. Now, it's your time, please.
Yes. Oh, no, it's not. Yeah, okay. Yes, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Yong-Jo Kim. I'm in charge of the research infrastructure, making the research infrastructure policy for research infrastructure in Korea. So I'm very great honor to presentation BRIN today about the Korean RI ecosystem and the impact. The past 2 days, I have been able to very good feeling from the visiting RI of BRIN. I saw the higher performance RIs and very clean laboratories and many young researchers. And today I heard the very advanced system for research infrastructure, very emotional. So my presentation has undergoing many revisions. So I read my presentation. Now I would like to, MPEG is a specialized organization that is responsible for science and technology research infrastructure in Korea. Now I would like to start my presentation on Korea's research infrastructure policy and particulars. I hope you find my presentation inspiring. Next. Yes. Why do we need the science and technology? National competitiveness comes from the science and technology competitiveness, and the science and technology competitiveness is come from the science and superstructure and the science and technology infrastructure. Next. In particular, the science superstructure is supported by the science and technology infrastructure. The fact of the superstructure depends on the infrastructure. Infrastructure includes the research facility and equipment and resource and information. It's very important. Next. Among the component of the science and technology infrastructure, research infrastructure encompasses both the research resource and research information are the most important engine of the science and technology competitiveness and by extension, national competitiveness. Next. In particular, current research methods are changing repeatedly. In the past, national phenomena were observed and theory-oriented research and conduct to explain them. Nowadays, the mainstream of the research is generated the big data, so the expensive research infrastructure, and make prediction, so the computing resource. For example, next. For example, LIGO, which cost of the $300 million involved thousands of the scientists from around the world to generate the big data and discover gravity wave with the researchers and the computing infrastructure scattered across the globe. Next. So Korea is a very important of research infrastructures. Recognition importance of this. Korea has the increase of investment in R&D since 2000, building the many science and technology research infrastructure. Currently, we have 100,000 pieces of the research infrastructure have been installed in each research instrument. Value of about $8.5 billion. Next. In particular, we have 322 medium and large scale research infrastructure can be shared and utilized through online service. We have 10 research field, not so the picture. Too many research infrastructure have the big equipment or shared facility and computing data infrastructure and too many of this around the world, in Korea. Next. Korea R&D investment has been increasing repeatedly since 2005 and increased 2.5 times in 2020 compared to 2005. Very high increasing, but cost of the research infrastructure has been reduced to 62%. Direct investment in research infrastructure is decreasing, but investment in large-scale research infrastructure, which cost of more than $35 million, is increasing repeatedly. This means that the need for a very large research infrastructure in the gradually increasing. Next. People know about the investment system for research infrastructure. It is important to understand the characteristics of the research infrastructure and research and development investment in Korea. This is some different from the Indonesia. First, many ministries in Korea are promoting similar R&D projects. There are 53 ministries in Korea. 38 ministries are investing in R&D project. For example, in 2020, 50 ministries are investing autonomous driving technology. Second, our Korea R&D investment is to support the project in which all costs is mixed: human resource, research infrastructure, and project cost, rather than structure in which infrastructure for technology development and human resources are separated. So the 25 ministry governmental research institute account for 36% of the total research investment. Korea's investment characteristics make it different to make strategic investment in mega-sized research infrastructure, and overall investment in similar research infrastructure and invest trend to be more fashionable than research infrastructure that can utilization various researchers. Next. You show the various ministries are investing in Korea research infrastructure. So you saw the 55 ministries in the research in the Republic of Korea, and 38 ministries are particularly in national project. So information management method is difficult from each other. Next. I will explain Korea R&D infrastructure investment system. The funding stage is divided into planning, construction, and decision, and budget allocating, and adjustment stage. Almost all research infrastructure goes through this stage. The target of each stage is difficult depending on the cost amount. The cost amount can be divided into the 1 billion won and 100 billion won when cover the $71,000 and $77 million in Korea won. In Korea, very large research infrastructure left on infrastructure then cost 100 billion won to build. And it goes through the stage of planning, construction, decision, and to explain on annual budgeting, allocation, and total project cost adjustment. Next. Therefore, in order to manage the efficient research infrastructure, have the established management system with the regulation of the ministry as a research and development organization. We are organization of the ministries and the JEOS system name is Joint of Research Equipment Utilization Service. JEOS system is operated by MPAC, which is an organization by the MSIT to operate this system. The collect equipment information to link to the utilization system of another ministries. Next. MPAC was created to advance the utilization of research infrastructure. Until now, the Korea scientific and technology field to build up a lot of equipment, but there was a problem that is not used well. Authorization problem as shown this diagram. Major problem is the duplicate purchase, unnecessary purchase of the equipment avoidance to joint use, management, neglect, and unused and neglect. We call the program 3. So how do we get our research infrastructure to use where? Next. Yes. So how do we get our research infrastructure to use where? Next. MPEC has established 4 strategic for this. First, strategic investment. Second, promoting joint use. Third, natural engineer and management operations, managing operations. Next. 30 years ago, in 2009, MPEC was established for the efficient management of research infrastructure in Korea. MPEC logo like on iceberg. This means that the visible investment, the infrastructure is only part of it, over the sea, and the necessary pay of attention to under the sea, because it requires continuous investment for large amount of cost. So we making a row. Next. MPEC was established under the Korea government Basics Act of the Science and Technology. The main mission of the MPEC is assistant the Ministry of Strategic Finance and the MSIT in developing policy and the plan for the national research infrastructure and all two allocated related budget. We also promote the co-utilization of RIs for researchers, operating and education relevant professional research operator, and produce and analyze statistical indicator on research infrastructure funded by the Ministry Science and Technology budget. Next. In past, in Korea, the price of the same equipment could be up to the 4 times different price on who bought it. It's very important thing. So next. We prevent the problem until 2011. We data mine the price during the funding process, so the infrastructure review. Next. And we also review the RI cost before the organizing large-scale funding. Next. And we set up roadmap for large research infrastructure to promote the friend funding. Next. And the surveying and analyzing to investment status of the research infrastructure every year, and using it powerful data for national policies. Next. Various information on research infrastructure is collected annually to investigate their utilization performance, and the investment status and utilization performance are made into the booklet every year, and the use and national statistics. Next. The photo is the surveying, the measure the dark matter installed in the abundance coral mine, 800 meters underground, visiting RIs to conduct the survey. Next. Conduct a separate survey for research infrastructure to support research. Next. We provide reservation and utilization service for joint use, so to use service. And we provide this information are used in many parts. Information building infrastructure in use the represent to data mining and also regulationiness of the other infrastructure and building them. We also play the role in inducting our right price so the growth of the price information. Use the combination with other R&D information to analyzing, measure the scientific, social, and the economic repeat of R&D project based on infrastructure-based performance. Used to read the collaborate or collaborative in research. Next. We have established an equipment registration system. If we are conducting the R&D business, R&D project, you are required to register. And we actively check the integrity of the information sort screening. In particular, our management card with the QR code and NFC chips attend each price of the equipment and add logbook. Logbook is created so to the JEOS mobile app. This allows up to monitoring utilization status. Next, we have established research infrastructure management is a cycle manner. Once research infrastructure is built and registered, we monitor utilization status and investigate its performance every year. After analyzing the performance, we will use for evaluation again. So we build a system to ensure that the research infrastructure is used well. Next. While the utilization of research infrastructure are carried out by institutions that own the infrastructure, the decision and the evaluation of it are carried out by MFAC. We an organization think of the introducing research infrastructure, we make decision. When they build it, we register the information. If they operate it, we collect the performance data. And if they do maintenance, we fund it. And if they don't use, we transport to another institution. Next. This photo is a real-time monitoring for research infrastructure. This monitoring system have our center. I presentation political manager. The red T is me. People very small skin. We conduct real-time monitoring research infrastructure build Korea and produce various data to analyzing them. Next. This screen is a real-time monitoring system. This shows the registering stage. We have 9,500,000 equipment, and how can buy that? Next. And how we are funded the research infrastructure. Yes, next. This screen is how to registering. Today's registering, and we are checking data and how many days the registering and who the registering data. It's a real-time monitoring. Next. How many research infrastructure built the nations? We are regional data and the statistics and too many information provide real-time monitoring. Next. How many use the research infrastructure is a real-time monitoring system? Next. Yes, next. How many information we have this information and the mentor information as large-scale research infrastructure and another information. Next. We are checking in infrastructure used. Don't use research infrastructure with transport to another institutes. So we are checking the data, real-time monitoring. And we provide the information, this deliberation, training, large-scale research infrastructure at home and abroad, and analyzing deep learning-based system, so to the brand side. We have a 4 brand side project in education and large-scale research infrastructure and knowledge. Next. We are also selecting research equipment that underutilized or the idle research infrastructure and the support transport to require organization. Next. Last, we also regulatory take erratic to use the research infrastructure is very important thing. People in Korea, too many researchers have their mind of the research infrastructure is a mind. It do not use the another researcher. We are changing this culture. So too many Korean researchers, now too many researchers in Korea, so change the mind. Research infrastructure is everybody use it. Next. MPEC is the cross-departmental including operating management of this national research facility and equipment, establishing world-leading national advanced system, and we call it NAS, including strategic investment in research facility and equipment, promote joint utilization and training specializing technical personnel. It's the world's only independent organization dedicated to this purpose. Next. So we are very high leadership in the leadership for the government policy and the decision maker, and for research funding agency for research infrastructure university, we are maintenance repertory operation for this operator and the technician researchers. So we are lessons. So next. Thank you for the intention for invaluable time. I would like to wish you bigger the future Indonesian science and technology. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Young Joking. Give applause. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and now the last but not the least, presentation paper of Korea R&D budget allocation laws and regulation from Chief Director Office of Future Technology Strategy, Korea Institute of Science and Technology Evaluation and Planning. Please welcome Dr. Jiho Huang.
Hi, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jiho Hwang from KISTED. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, and can you see my materials?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I talk about R&D budget system in Korea. In part 1, I will introduce the national S&T management system. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Wait a minute.
Okay, it's okay.
I can see the.
Yes. Yeah. Normal.
박사님 무슨 문제 있으실까요?
이거 다시 공유를 하려고요.
안녕하세요.
네. Okay. I'll explain the overall process of national S&T management. Before policy and program planning, we should carry out the analysis and foresight first. I mean, horizontal scanning on S&T and S&T data analysis.
조금만 크게 부탁드립니다.
소리가 안 들려요?
잘 들립니다. 조금만 크게 부탁드릴게요.
네. After that, using those results of analysis and foresight, we can plan policy and R&D program. And firstly, S&T policy plan at national level is planned first. After that, all ministry plan S&T policy plans and also their R&D programs at ministerial level. And then the funding agency plan R&D projects. And a program is feasible to launch by budget allocation. Then it can be funded. And the program can launch. After that, we evaluate the R&D program and also R&D projects. This is the overall process of national S&T management. And there are three stages of national R&D management, which are planning, investment, and evaluation. In planning stage, we do foresight and we set a strategy. And also we plan S&T policy and R&D programs. And in investment stage, we do budget allocation and coordination for R&D programs. And also we perform R&D preliminary feasibility study to find out that whether the newly proposed large-sized R&D program is feasible to launch or not. And in evaluation stage, we evaluate R&D program and R&D project. Now, in part 2, I will explain the coordination of national R&D programs. Firstly, let's share the key features of current R&D investment in Korea. National R&D investment, it means government plus private sector in 2020 was up to 78.8 billion US dollars. It was fifth in the world. And national R&D investment proportion to GDP in 2020 was about 4.81%, and it was ranked second in the world. And government R&D budget in 2021 was about 23.9 billion US dollars, the bottom, and it was up to about 4.9% of total government expenditure. Now, let's check the trend in national R&D investment. It means the historical point of view. In 1963, the national R&D budget was about 1 million US dollars. And after 30 years, in 1991, the national R&D budget was about 33 billion US dollars. And after another 30 years, in 2020, the national R&D budget was 78.9 US dollars. Isn't the rate of increase amazing? And now let's check the trend in government R&D budget. The first government-funded research institute, KIST, was established in 1966. And the first government R&D program, so-called NRDP, was launched in 1982. And the government R&D budget was about 192 million US dollars at the time. And in 2020, the government R&D budget was about 20 billion US dollars. So Korean government has been focusing on government R&D investment for raising innovation competitiveness, national innovation competitiveness for our future. As the government R&D budget increases, we can achieve science and technology, remarkable science and technology achievements, which are scientific outputs, I mean papers or patents, industrial products, global contribution, and so on. And as the government R&D budget increases, we also had unexpected side effects like more cost for R&D administration. So we had to manage more projects and more programs, and more ministries involved to government R&D. And we need to more efficient and effectiveness for budget allocation, because the budget allocation became more important scientific rationality. And we need to consider the specialty in science and technology for budgeting, because disruptive innovation comes more frequently. And in the early 2000, the government R&D investment increased continuously, and R&D activities diversified by different ministries and agencies. At that time, we had more than 200 R&D programs by 20 ministries and agencies in 2003. And so the efficiency and effectiveness, so the attention on more efficient and effective allocation of the government R&D budget was increased. So in 1999, NSTC, National Science and Technology Council, was established for developing new initiatives for evaluation and coordination of national R&D programs. So S&T governance was restructured in 2004. The status of Minister of most Ministry of Science and Technology was raised to Deputy Prime Minister. And OSTI, Office of Science and Technology Innovation, was newly established for evaluation and coordination of all government R&D programs. And I explained NSTC established in 1999 and chaired by the President of Korea. NSTC consisted of 14 science and technology related cabinet ministers, chairperson of Presidential Advisory Council for S&T, and 9 non-government members appointed by the president. And the most was NSTC's secretariat. And KISTEP, Korea Institute of Science and Technology Evaluation and Planning, my institute, KISTEP was newly established in 1999. And the main missions of KISTEP were national level science and technology planning, and assistance in evaluation and coordination of national R&D programs. It means KISTEP support NSTC's role. And this figure shows the S&T governance structure in 2020. First, Presidential Advisory Council on Science and Technology, PACT, was in charge of the functions and roles of NSTC and chaired by the President of Korea. And KeyStep also support the tasks of PACT, OSTI, and MOEF. MOEF is Ministry of Economy and Finance. Now, wrap up again about coordination within or between ministries. Most Ministry of Science and Technology launched the first government R&D program, so-called NRDP, National Specific R&D Program, in 1982. At the time, the bureaucrats were in charge of R&D coordination and project execution. And research institutes, universities, enterprises performed R&D projects. During 1980s and the 1990s, the NRDP was diversified to various R&D programs within most. And also, many other ministries launched their own R&D programs. So at the period, still bureaucrats were in charge of R&D coordination. And at the time, the funding agencies were in charge of project execution, and project performed same. And in 1999, National S&T Council, NSTC, was in charge of R&D program coordination and project execution by funding agency, and project performed by research institute, universities, and enterprises. And in part 3, I will explain the R&D budget system in Korea. This figure shows general budget flow process. At the beginning of the year, MOEF, Ministry of Economy and Finance, set ceiling, I mean, spending the budget limit for the next year for each ministry. Then all ministries submit budget proposal to MOEF. Then MOEF review those proposals and allocate budget of programs. After that, MOEF submit the results, I mean budget bill, to National Assembly. Now, the R&D budget flow process. The R&D budget flow process is different from other sectors. Since 1999, Ministry of S&T, now the Ministry of S&T is MSIT. MSIT involved in R&D budgeting. So at the beginning of the year, MOEF set ceiling, I mean spending the budget limit for the next year for each ministry with the help of MCIT. And also MCIT sets R&D investment direction for the next year. And then all ministries submit their budget proposal of all R&D program to MOF and MCIT. And MOF and MCIT review those proposals. And MCIT distributes and coordinates the budget of principal R&D programs. And MCIT submit the results to MOF. Then MOF allocate the budget of all government R&D program. And MOF submit those results budget bill to National Assembly. This is R&D budget flow process in Korea. And we have been operating expert committees in NSTC since 1999 for more scientifically rational decision making. The major role of expert committee is to produce review report of the budget request. The review report mainly includes validity of the program, clarity of the goal, adequacy of the requested budget amount, etc. And there were 7 expert committees and 16 experts in each committee. Yes. During R&D budget process, we consider not only government plans but also technology trend. We especially consider the science and technology basic plan. It contains the basic direction of national science and technology policy for the next 5 years. And also we consider the next year investment direction and the technology priority for reflecting technology trend and societal changes. And you can see the figure bottom, the relationship between basic plan, next year investment direction, and budget allocation. And now this figure shows again the overall process of national S&T management. I explained the right side. I explained the budget allocation and coordination for R&D program. And I want to add one more thing about R&D feasibility, R&D preliminary feasibility study. If the amount of newly proposed R&D program exceeds 50 million US dollars, then they have to studied by preliminary feasibility study. And during budget allocation, they reflect the results of a preliminary feasibility study. This figure shows R&D budget process at a glance. You can see the timetable and each body's role here, and the process I already explained. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, give the applause to Dr. Jiho Huang. Thank you for the presentation. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now is Q&A session, but we will to invite moderate on this session, Q&A session. Please welcome Dr. Duk Sun Yim and a comment with Dr. Dudi Hidayat. Time is all yours. In there. In front of.
Okay. Today we have really 2 short hours for too much work. It's like having R&D infrastructures and financing, and also the governance, coordination. So, and also Indonesia and Korean cases. But first of all, I was quite impressed how BRIN has progressed. I remember, I've been working with PPP for more than 3 decades, actually. Since 1991, when the President Habibie was the chairman of the PPPD. And I know Mr. Wadiman, Handoto, everyone. So, and especially in these 3 years, recent 3 years, BRIN has integrated and really set forth many constructive policies for change. So, and I saw that many young, talented people are coming into policy studies. So, I think Dr. Dudi has many things to say. But today we have only 30 minutes. So, but please feel free to say anything about, the presentation or any other suggestions. Maybe Secretary, you want to say something? Okay, please.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Kim. I think some explanation from the slide from Dr. Kim and Dr. Kuang, yeah, related with the infrastructure and then also the R&D funding scheme in Korea. I think it's quite clear, and then we can make maybe some differentiation within Korea and Indonesia, and also what is the point of this? Yeah, I think we have some same direction to the next step. Yeah, as Dr. Kim also mentioned before, we make progress in BRIN now. Yeah, maybe before the condition before BRIN, we have some research institute in the among the ministries and also the research institute. Yeah, but now we integrated all of the R&D institute in the BRIN now, and we can compare also from Korea and Indonesia. Some like I discussed with Pak Dudi, some point we have the same character. Yeah, like when Dr. Kim explained about the NFAC. Yeah, I think in Indonesia same with the Pak Cahyo, yeah, in the directorate. The different condition. If we in Korea, this is a national institute on self. That in Indonesia is a directorate under the deputy BRIN. Yeah, and Dr. Ajeng also explained about the R&D funding. We have some scheme. I think this is the same because the Korea we have a key step. Yeah, in under institution the key step to manage the R&D funding come from the initiation until the implementation. How to monitoring and evaluation the R&D program. I think that we have some character, but some point we have a different condition. But I think we can make a discussion and then we can we have collaboration to how to maybe Indonesia benchmark Korea, or also Korea have some idea from the condition in Indonesia. I think some point like that. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. We have one question submitted by online. So that question is for Dr. Yong-Joo Kim. It asks, how do you categorize the research infrastructures in Korea? For example, the huge facilities and the small equipment in terms of operation and maintenance. Can you say briefly? Answer.
Yes. Korea, sorry, I don't heard. Korea research infrastructure divided by size and research field. And the first size is the large scale and medium small scale, and each are the research instruments. And so we divided another way, classify another way. Research, we are categorizing in research field and IT and bio and measurement, nanotechnology, and to all of us. We are the correct. We are the classified the maybe 10. We have a 10 category of the science field, and we classified another way, and we have using way. More special researchers attended research infrastructure and co-utilization infrastructure, and just one user research infrastructure we are classified. So I said we are classified by the size and using way and research field. We have 3 ways in classified infrastructure. Thank you.
Okay. Any question?
Any question in virtual Zoom?
Yeah.
Okay.
In English, please.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Kim and Dr. Huang, for the presentation about it's so amazing. to Dr. Huang, have the structure coordination ministry from 1992 until 1999. What the decentralization about I'm sorry for the Dr. Huang. What is the this best the coordination ministry from until 1992 from 1992 until 1999. And what is the best decentralization for Dr. Kim? And please the answer about this. And then what is the strategy and investment about how to transfer of idly and low utilization equipment? Thank you.
Is it Dr. Huang is online?
Yes.
Yes. Can you answer? Oh, it's really hard style.
But actually, I can catch the exact point of his question. What's the point during 1992 and 1999? The situation in Korea, or the policy direction in Korea. What's your point of question?
I like saying in Korean. 황 박사님,
네.
그 지금 슬라이드에 보면 92년도와 97년도인가 이게 약간 좀 변하는 기간이잖아요.
네.
그래서 왜 92년도와 97년도 사이에 어떤 일이 있었기에 97년도에 이런 변화를 했는지 조금
99년도에
그 얘기해 주시면 좋을 것 같아요.
Okay. I explained in my presentation the first government R&D program launched in 1982. After that, the Korean government focused on government R&D program. So the investment of government R&D program raised fastly. So the first government R&D program, NRDP, diversified to various R&D programs within most Ministry of Science and Technology, and also many other ministries launched their own R&D programs. So during those periods, many R&D programs were launched and operated by ministries and funding agencies. So the coordination and efficiency and effectiveness of managing R&D program is a big issue at that period. So in 1999, NSTC, National S&T Council, was established for coordination of all government R&D programs. So they evaluate and coordinate all government R&D programs. And nowadays, PACT, PACT was in charge of the role and the function of NSTC in Korea. That's the story during 1992 and 1999. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Hwang.
From Dr. Kim, what is the basis of decentralization? Please explain more about the investment strategy in question and how to transfer of idly and investment. I'm sorry, please. In this.
Yes, I can listen. I can understand this question, okay. So I translate.
Could you please explain much further about the investment strategy that you explained previously and how to do the transfer of idle and low utilization equipment?
And the first one, second one? The second one?
There are two questions.
The second one is transfer.
Transfer of idle and low utilization equipment.
첫 번째 거는 investment strategy. 투자 전략이.
Yes, I understand. I said, first question is a very difficult question. So I explained another document and explained another way. So the second question, I understand how many unutilization equipment in Korea. We are surveying the status of our research infrastructure annually. So last year, 7% of our equipment was unused. So these equipment are related to our geosystem and can central amount of the relocated cost we are supported. And the first questions, so very difficult. We have establishment the state rich plan. So we are surveying our landscape for large research infrastructure and making a roadmap. Making roadmap is we are researchers needed a large scale research infrastructure. We collected a request. So research. Two researchers, and we are collected the request and we'll have making a roadmap, and we are making roadmap and investment plan is there's some different investment plan is annually investment strategic. So we are making a portfolio, how many investment we need, and our own research infrastructure used operating and maintenance cost, how many costs they need. So we are making a portfolio and use the research infrastructure and newer research infrastructure, making an investment plan for mid and long-term strategic plan. Thank you.
Okay, from the...
Okay, next question, I'll
okay.
try to help them.
Okay.
Which one? Okay. Next question. Do you mean in Korea currently the R&D program still spread out in several research institutes or agencies and ministries as well?
Yeah, yes, of course. Yeah. The government R&D investment is still increased. So many newly launched R&D programs nowadays. Yes, right.
Korea research infrastructure investment program is by the funded research project by research project. The project is have the special aim for another. We get the technology or other functional missions. So is not contained the research operating and maintenance costs. So too many research infrastructure keep the day operating and the maintenance cost. They need another program and have keep the research infrastructure cost. Thank you.
Let me add some more things. You know, when system is simple, we think about research infrastructure and R&D funding separately. Yes. But as the research infrastructures gets more expensive, becomes more expensive to purchase and to maintain, and also the knowledge to maintain is really becomes more sophisticated. So there is very much close interaction and the relationship with the funding and the research infrastructures. And also funding has much to do with the national policy in the higher level. So it's quite difficult decisions to make an investment initially. If the investment is done in the beginning, it's very difficult to change. So that's why we invited Dr. Hwang, and also you presented the Indonesia side, presented R&D funding. I would like to hear something from Dr. Judy.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Yim. I think we should be aware and acknowledge that the major differences between Indonesia and Korea, first, that we do decentralization of organizations. So BRIN integrate all research organizations, government research organizations. Whereas in Korea, you still have many research institutes and programs in other ministries, in organizations under the National Research Council. So that's the major differences. Of course, there is a drawback and also advantages. Our major aim is to get a better coordination to reach the critical mass in terms of human resources, research infrastructures, because we don't have much money actually. So if we have too many research organizations, duplication of programs and the need for research infrastructure will be difficult to manage. So therefore we think that we integrate all research organizations into one organization so that the consolidations and management of program and infrastructures will be, what should I say, not easy, but it will be more manageable. But in fact, now it's not too easy. In fact, it is complicated. It is a complex problem. Therefore, perhaps the first question is very important. How do we categorize these research infrastructures? Dr. Kim, you mentioned that, yes, we do have categorization, large infrastructures and small infrastructures. Also, there are infrastructures that are used by many research organizations and researchers, but there are infrastructures that are used only for limited researchers. There are also infrastructure that based on the field of research, infrastructure for life sciences, infrastructure for manufacturing sciences, manufacturing technology, for example. So it is useful perhaps for us also to understand more about that. And the question for BRIN at the moment, maybe Bu Farida and Bu Nurbaiti, so do we have such a categorizations? And how do we manage large infrastructure compared to what, small infrastructure? Or yeah, I don't know the classification, Bu Farida and Nurbaiti, but in managing this infrastructure, do we have this categorization, and how do we manage this infrastructure based on that categories? So this might be a question for
Bu Farida and Nurbaiti, maybe you can answer that questions and give us an explanation, please.
Please help me if I have problem in English. Okay, at the moment at BRIN, we categorize the infrastructure based on the research focus, such as now at science and technology area at Serpong is more focused for mechanics, informatics, chemicals, engineering, and then the science and technology area at Cibinong Bogor is more focused for science and life science environment research, something like that. So we not categories by the size, huge and small facilities, no, but the main focus research for every area. So far, no, it's like that.
So
it's okay.
Would you like to comment on that, Dr. Kim?
Yeah.
First of all, we are so the prescribed manual published by the OECD. Yes, the OECD prescribed manual is divided research field. We are approach the classify the research infrastructure and research field by the research field, but too many research infrastructure using the another, so it's the same research infrastructure using the different categories, bioscience, and I saw those electron microscope using the major nanoscope, nanotechnology, and bioscience, and chemical and too many of our. So we are. It's not wrong way, but we are classified it is very simply. So we are making another. We are thinking about another way. What is first question? We have the first question. So what is research infrastructure? My experience is very difficult questions. I'm visiting the OECD and another conference. Too many experts attending this conference talking about what is research infrastructure. They told about maybe 5 hours, 6 hours. This is not of the result. So what is the research infrastructure? It's a very long questions. And how can we divide the research infrastructure? It's the same question. I think the same questions. So we are clear. It's not a clearly classified way for research infrastructure. So I think so mixed classification infrastructure. I think mixed research infrastructure classification ways. So. Size is the projecting how many costs involved this is research infrastructure. As large scale is the amount under the $700 and more over the $700. So we are classified the scale, and using way is this research infrastructure. A small research group use, but very high technology, but basic research. Basic science researcher, gravity wave and dark matter, and this research infrastructure. And we are focused on the co-utilization research infrastructure. This is the very widely used the research infrastructure. For example, SAM, TAM, and ICP, and gas chromatography, and liquid chromatography, and atomic process, and all over the world. So this co-utilization research infrastructure is very important for researcher. Starting research, basic research is very important. So we are classified using way, and so we have too many ways research infrastructure classification. So if you want another questions, send it to email. So I always contact you, send information. Thank you.
Ya, Bu Farida ada komen. Yes.
The next question we have, maybe to Dr. Im.
Next question for Dr. Im from Dr. Shahrul Aminullah. So what kind of supporting from political political commitment from the highest leader in South Korea so that they can increase the research budget?
I mean, for him?
Yeah, for Dr. Im.
Okay, let's go back a little bit history of the Korea. You know, Korea is traditionally the Confucius society. Of course, there is Buddhism, and Korea was very much poor though, but people always valued the study, academic things. So in Confucius culture, the most preferred one for young people, they are getting passed the government officers exam and being the higher government officers and return to home. That's their ideology. I mean, ideal picture of the young kids. So they encourage the study. So after Japanese colony, when Korea was liberated, many people still had that ideas. So we had called the terminology, not ivory tower, but carbon tower. Why? Because in agricultural society, the cow was the most valuable asset in family, in the rural society. But they sold that cow to educate their children in universities. So we called carbon tower instead of ivory tower. So many people were educated, and even politicians, when Korea was very poor, for example, KIST, Korea Institute of Science and Technology, was built in 1966. There was no objection from the society. And that's why we kept increasing the R&D investment. Maybe that's these years one of the highest country, R&D for GDP. So there was no, objection from the societies, even when we had the difficult economic situations. So politicians, so they just said, science and technology is important. And of course, my institute, STEPI, provide some logics. If we invest this much, Korean economy will benefit this much, something like that. So that's how we kept, investing. Otherwise, I've been traveling lots of countries. I don't think it is possible in any other countries because it's too difficult to get, public acceptance. Even though politics provide some visions, it's very difficult to pass the Congress to get the budget. So I think one of the important role of the politicians and the opinion leaders in society is to let the general public understand why the science and technology technology investment is important. Thank you.
Okay, the last question we have for Dr. Youngju Kim. Question from Laili Farah. How does the business process flow from the results of the institutional or university research to industry so that it can be utilized by the community?
Korea has too many research infrastructure for industrial research for students. We have 322 research infrastructure. This is most of our for industrial research and student researchers. We have 63 infrastructure in university for student, and we have 1,210 research infrastructure is operated for the industrial researcher. Industrial research visiting our research infrastructure. Industrial research infrastructure have the too many operator and the researcher. They are supporting the industrial researchers. They give a project idea, and the research infrastructure research and operators they are supporting the research. They making a research plan and using the research infrastructure and provide the result to industrial researcher. So I think too many research infrastructure established, construction all of the country. So I think too many and duplicated research infrastructure in Korea. Thank you.
Okay. We close the question. Okay. What?
This is Chio Hwang. Can I ask question?
Okay. Please.
Okay. I want to ask to Indonesian side. In Indonesia, is it the budgeting system for R&D program, including infrastructure, is different from the budgeting system for other sectors?
What's the question?
Can you say again?
Is it the budgeting system for R&D program, including R&D infrastructure, different from the budgeting system for other sectors, education, industry, social welfare, environment, like that?
Yes, just in the R&D for infrastructure.
Other projects are including project or other resource.
황 박사님 한국말로 다시 한번 해주실래요? 여기 잘 안 들려갖고.
들립니까?
예. 한국말로 하면 제가 여기 옆에
그 R&D 사업에 대한 예산 배분, 그 예산 편성 시스템이 그 다른 분야 예산 편성 시스템 하고 좀 다른 뭐 체계가 있는지. 우리 한국은 좀 다르잖아요. 예.
Okay. Dr. Hwang asks, in Korea, we have a little bit different system for R&D budgeting, right?
Compared to
other sectors.
Other sectors.
Like society, industry. So he's asking whether Indonesia has the similar system or different system. Well, especially you have another process for science and technology investment.
In my understanding, the programming and budgeting of science technology sectors are the same as other sector. The process, the mechanism, there are no differences. So we have to go through the same processes as other sectors.
Okay, you mean the same processes, but are there any some specific parameters to when you evaluate the S&T budget?
Of course, the parameters would be different from for each sectors. Yeah, the parameters, but the mechanism is basically the same. There is no, let's say, prioritization for science technology sectors compared to other sectors. No, there are no specific treatment.
Or then, like the persons in the Ministry of Finance, you mean
Papanas or Ministry of Finance.
Ministry of Finance.
Yeah.
So, are they expert on science and technology?
I would not say they are an expert, but they are responsible for science and technology portfolio. In Bapanas, for example, they are directorate for science, technology, and human resources, directorate for another sectors of development. They are supposed to be an expert in each areas where they are responsible of. Yeah.
황 박사님, 기본적으로 그 프로세스는 똑같고 뭐 차별화된 건 없다고 해서 제가 추가적으로 물어본 게 그럼 어떻게 조금 기준 같은 게 다르냐. 그리고 아까 내 말했던 그 바파나스라는 거는 우리로 말하면 예전에 경제기획원입니다. 그래서 이제 경제기획원과 Ministry of Finance 그 예산부처가 같이 그 이제 결정을 결국은 하는데 특별하게 저기는 없다고 하네요.
없다고 하네요. 예.
네.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
It's truly hybrid and complex seminar.
So, I think before Pak Dudi, Iksan, you will ask questions, and after that, Pak Dudi.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Selamat siang, good afternoon. Thank you very much for the invitation from Pak Dudi and colleague, and also the presentation for all speakers for today. I have questions regarding the topics of today, infrastructure and budget. Regarding the infrastructure, from Dr. Kim, Yongjo Kim, you are from National Research Facilities and Equipment Center, if I'm not mistaken. So the question is, you are able to manage all infrastructures in Korea, including the universities as well? Okay, because if we compare with Indonesia, I believe that there is BRIN, and also there is a Ministry of Education and Research Technology, which from my understanding, BRIN cannot control the infrastructures in the universities. So my question is, even though you can control all of the infrastructures in Korea, how can you coordinate between those ministries who own the infrastructures? Because I believe in Indonesia is still quite hard to do so, to have some integrated, and even you have the Zeus platform, so everyone can put in there, and then you can manage all of the infrastructures in Korea, universities, institutions, and etc. How can you coordinate at the first place and assure that everything is on the same page, that we need this one platform as the Zeus? And also in Zeus, I can see there is a flex. If I'm not mistaken, there's a US, UK, German. So those are the nationalities or the nations that use your equipment in Korea, or how does it work? That's my question. What does it mean, the flag? If it means that those are the nationalities that use your equipment in Korea, how can you do that? I mean, like, the equipment is in Korea, but the ones in UK use your equipment, you use some kind of technology like PLC, HMI, or etc. to do that, to so others can use. Like, for instance, in BRIN, if I'm not mistaken, we have the Puspitek, we have the Cibinong, but if you want to use it, you have to be there, right? My question is it the same conventional concept in Korea, or you can also use the digital and then everyone can use it, even the equipment is in Korea. If it can do that, I mean, it can be also a good exercise in Indonesia to do that. I mean, like the equipment in Korea, we can use it and you can pay for some hours, something like that. Or the equipment is in Indonesia, in Jakarta, but someone in Ambon, one of the Marine Institute there can use it. How can we do that? That's for the infrastructure. For the funding, Dr. Huang mentioned about the foresight. I just remember when
Can you have one question by one question?
Oh, but funding and infrastructure, only one. Dr. Huang mentioned about the foresight. My question is, because I remember when I had a training from KeyStep in 2018, I heard about the R&D direction in Korea and also the key investments. I just realized that you use foresights to determine the R&D direction and key investments. The question is it possible to do so? I mean, like, how is the time required to do the foresight, the comprehensive foresight in Korea to determine the R&D directions and etc.? I believe Pak Dudi and Pak Yudo also the experts on this, but we know that in Indonesia is quite difficult to do so, but maybe we can do the practical possibilities to do it in Indonesia. And also it's also related to the funding projects that Indonesia has currently. I believe now we still have the product-based funding, not the mission-based or challenge-based funding. We're still on the product, not the challenge. Like for in Korea in 2018, there is a mission leading economic innovation, realizing people's happiness, strengthening innovation through S&T. And you have some kind of a breakdown of the mission, and then you can targeting from that. So my question, how to do the foresight for that? Thank you. Yeah, how can you do the foresight? What time required to do so, and what are the pinpoints? What are the points that need to be highlighted to do the complete foresight? That's for Dr. Huang. Maybe my question from Pak Dudi. I heard that BRIN also doing the technology foresight. Is it just technology foresight or also the comprehensive foresight currently in BRIN? Thank you.
Yes, question very long. So if you're able to sending email, I detailed answer to you. And simply answer the first question is, how do universities management is? Yes, we are management all of country research infrastructure. We have a stage of the research infrastructure life cycle, and planning, construction, planning, budgeting, and construction, and operation, and the investment. So we have a five stage for research infrastructure. We are managed and planning and budgeting. We are managed. We are allocated the project or agree, disagree. But we are our role. We are management, and now. Next stage, operation and construction and operation is the monitoring. Who are using this infrastructure? How many performance in this research infrastructure we are monitoring, and research infrastructure. This research infrastructure is not used. We are transfer another institute. So, Korea research infrastructure owned by researcher. As a research institute. So we are not management or stage. We are just planning, budgeting. We are managed and or monitoring the stage. And the second, another avoid country tried our research infrastructure. Yes, tried our research infrastructure, but research infrastructure using is not a taxi or a bus. Using research infrastructure is attending our operating research equipment or facility, attending research facility. So we are co-using the research infrastructure, most visiting our country. So digital, very important thing is slicing and the specimen. Slicing a specimen is a function rate, and operating condition is different each research. So I think about too many researchers visiting Korea, Europe, and American, and the UK or the German, visiting our country and using the research infrastructure. And I hope too many Indonesian and ASEAN researchers visit our country using our research infrastructure. I want to develop this program and funded our country fund. So this, I hope, I dream, and I hope provide our Indonesian researchers. Thank you.
The second question was to Dr. Huang.
Okay. How long does it take for foresight? It's different. It depends on what topic we do foresight, or how deep we analyze for foresight. So it depends on the topic and depth. But I mentioned that the foresight in overall process of national S&T management, I emphasized the foresight and analysis before policy and program planning. So it's important to prepare policy and program planning. We should analyze the S&T data and foresight. After that, we plan policy and program. And also in budget allocation, we present next year investment direction, and also set technology priority in every year. So we present those material every year. So we prepare the direction and the priority we prepare 1 year for 1 year for the next year's investment direction and technology priority. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Dr. Huang. Because of the time limit, we would like to limit 2 questions.
Okay, yes, I think Pak Dudi first, and then Pak Atar. Okay, 2 questions, last question. But shortly, I will comment to the question of Pak Isan, whether BRIN is doing foresight for whole science technology development. At the moment, no. Pak Irul has a group who doing foresight on particular technology, electric vehicles, for example, or thing like that. So it's not an exercise of foresight for the whole science and technology development in Indonesia at the moment. Yes. Correct? Am I correct, Pak Irul?
Well, we are thinking to expand that.
Yes, in the future, yeah. Technology roadmap, yes. Yeah.
We are planning to develop a white paper. We call it white paper that cover all of the S&T fields for the foresights. Okay. This year. Thank you.
Does STEPI has a group doing foresight at the moment?
is one of them is to improve the participation of industries in research in Indonesia. So could you please also explain more about the strategy that you have been doing since 2004 to bring the private sectors into the research, because that's one of the challenge that we face now in Indonesia. Thank you, Dr. Wang.
Yes, Dr. Wang, please, can you answer the questions? Suaranya masuk nggak ke itu? Dr. Huang?
Oh, yes.
I invite you to answer the question, please. Yes.
I can't hear the question.
Yeah.
I can't hear the voice.
Okay. So, Pak Dudi, can you repeat the question shortly and concise and short?
And
Okay,
I have to move the another meeting in Sejong City in this afternoon. So this is my last question. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay. The first question is you in your slide number 11, you mentioned about the new initiative for evaluation and coordination. So could you please elaborate more what kind of strategy that you were doing for new initiative for evaluation R&D programs in Korea?
Maybe I think there's lots of way to collaborate between Indonesia and Korea because we have the experience that is very helpful to your country, Indonesia, to have the path of the competitiveness of science and technology part. So if we share the experience in of our country in Korea, Korea's experience will help to your country to have the innovation competitiveness. First of all, in Korea, we had we focused on government R&D investment, and so we had many R&D programs and many R&D projects. So we need to coordination of those R&D programs. So maybe BRIN has a big institute, many research institute or many infrastructures under BRIN. So you need to the efficient and more effective way to how can I say? Yes. So it's I mean it's similar situation we experienced the past years. So if we share that experience, then Indonesia can have the path to have the competitiveness of science and technology innovation. Yes. Thank you.
Okay, Pak Dudi.
Okay, thank you. Maybe we can collaborate more in the future about the evaluation part. Thank you, Dr. Wang.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So last questions, Pak Atar. Okay. we are already over time.
Yeah.
So I
Well,
hand it over back to Pak Kim.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for all the participation. I think we can have a more conversation by the email.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Give the applause. It's a very amazing Q&A session. Thank you so much, Dr. Dudi Hidayat and Dr. Duksun Kim. Now, everybody, the end our agenda. Thank you for attention all participants in this room and the virtual. See you the next event. Kamsahamnida. Mi
Terima
Berlian
kasih.
Ilawan. See you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih. You know.